statements. So did you happen to get a look at these statements, and did you happen to get any doubts so far?
I practice a little bit. It's okay, I'll take.
Okay. All right. So so the DML statements we were discussing, we have talked about insert, how to insert the records, how to update the records, how to delete the records, and how to undelete. So we are left with other two operations, upsert and merge. And post to that, we will be discussing the database class methods for performing this DML operations. Okay, and why we need to go for database class methods instead of DML statements. So what are the drawbacks the DML statements has? So all those things we are going to discuss in our class. Okay, so yeah, before starting up for today's class, refresher questions for you. So how many SOQL statements are allowed for per transaction? Garner limits. I wanted you to tell me.
100.
100. 150.
Okay. Yeah.
150. No.
SOQL. I said SOQL. Yeah. SOQL statements it's 100, and DML statements it's 150.
50.
Yeah. Okay. So right. So we have discussed the last one as delete, undelete, update. Yeah, update is the last one which we have discussed. So we have updated a couple of records based on the criteria which we have set, and we have done two examples making use of the switch case also. So the next one is the upsert operation. So yes, so if we are aware that we will have to perform insert as well as update operations, and we are going to do this continuously for a couple of times. So if we are aware of that kind of scenario, probably we would be going for upsert operation. So upsert is going to update as well as insert. So here, if you understand it correctly, it's going to do perform both the operations and also with one single DML statement, right? So usually we will be tend to use two DML statements, upsert one statement and insert one statement. Sorry, insert one statement and update one statement, right? But using upsert, we can even optimize it to one statement that, so if our business case scenario demands it, like you create some records, you update some records for a particular kind of case, yeah, we can go ahead and use the upsert statement. So by using this statement, we can perform both insert and update operations on the object records at a single time. Okay, so we can perform insert and update operations on the records by using the single DML statement, that is upsert. Okay, so in the upsert operation, how we are going to perform is we will have to place all the required records into, let's say, our placeholder or basket. What is it? Our collection. And then we will be performing the upsert and then give the collection name. Okay. So in the collection, what we are going to store, the records which we are going to update, and we are also going to store the records which we are going to insert. So all those together we are putting in one single collection, and then we are performing the upsert operation on that particular type of collection. Okay, so yes, how the Salesforce is going to determine which is which record is insert, which is which is update, which is insert. So based on the record ID. So if the record ID is present, then it will update the record. If the record ID is not present, then it will insert the record. So similar to the case which we did with data loader. Okay, so we will be supplying the .csv file to the data loader with few records which needs to be updated. So the record ID will be supplied, and few records which needs to insert. We don't provide the record ID, but we provide the record details. So data loader, how it is going to handle the records which has record ID, it's going to update, and the records which are not having the record ID, it is going to insert. So similar is the case with this upsert statement, DML statement also. Okay, so yeah, so upsert means update plus insert. So we can perform both the operations combinedly together. Yeah, it is going to deal the records based on the record ID. If record ID is present, it is update. If record ID is not present, it's insert. That means create a new record. So this is how the syntax looks like. Upsert only one record, record reference name, upsert multiple records, upsert collection name. As I told you, this will be the ideal scenario, usually in most of the cases in real time. And this will be also the ideal scenario in case where we will not have to use. Yeah, I will explain you in today's class why when we are dealing this, right? So let us go ahead and do an example program for our upsert operation. So write an Apex program to update all the new cases priority as high and create a new case record inside it. Okay, so let's go to our org. I'm going to the case object. So let's see how many cases are there. Open cases are 8. Closed cases are 20. So 28 cases altogether, but we are working on so if you see the status, there are 5 new cases. Okay, I mean 5 cases where the status is new. Okay, so these cases we are going to mark their case priority as high. So here if you see, for 2 of them we already have high, but for 3 of them we don't have high. So we are going to update that with a high. And also what we are going to do, we are going to create a new case record. Okay, so 2 operations we are going to perform with the help of upsert. So yes, let's go ahead and write down that particular code. Right, so let us go ahead and write our method for performing the upsert operation. Okay, so I'm writing it here on the top. Public so upsert I'm not supplying any value. So yes, so what do we need to do first? We will have to update the records and then insert the record, right? So both. So first, let me update the case records. So So there are the few case records whose status is new, and they have case priority as low. 3 of the records, 2 records already have high. So we are going to update those 3 new case records whose status is new and with their case priority as high. So how we are going to do it? So yes, our favorite collection of type case L cases, or whatever name you want to give. So here I need to collect only the case records whose status is new. Okay. So for that, I'm using a static SOQL query. So select. So for case, we need our status field and we need our case priority field because we are dealing with those fields. Okay. So first ID. Then we need a case number. So that usually identifies the case, and status and priority from case. Okay. So now tell me the condition. How should I write? Which clause should I use? Yes, anyone. Which clause should I use? So I need to pick up the cases whose status is new.
In class.
In. Why? Why in?
We have the status new in the
It's-
cases, right?
It's where status is equals to new and priority is equals to high.
Okay, half of it is correct.
Yeah.
Where
Status
status is equals to
new.
new. Okay. And then what? That's it.
I think so, because we are only selecting new the
Yeah, priority we will have to set it. So we are picking only the new cases.
Yeah.
And Shrikant, it's not in operator we will be used like in the scenarios where we have a list of things in our array or a collection, and we have to select based on that values available in that collection or in that array. So in that case only we will be using in operator. So basically it's a simple condition, right, where status is equals to new. I'm picking all the case records whose case status is new. That's it. It's simple one. Okay. Okay, right. So next, what should I do? So if this is not empty, then I am going to, if it is not empty, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to traverse and then update the status. So for traversing through my list of records, I'm going to use the for loop. And here we are dealing with our case records, right? So we will be creating a and supply your list of cases to be traversed. And yeah, So this enhanced for loop, are you people able to understand it? So this is looping variable which we'll be creating, and this is the list, array, or any collection type we will be supplying for the for loop to traverse through. Okay, so if this has 10 records, it will do the iterations 10 iterations. If it has only 2 records, only 2 iterations. So that is how we supply. So this is the basic syntax of our enhanced for loop. Okay, so now what we are doing is we are going to set the priority as high. So we are not touching any other values. So only priority we are setting high. And okay, so this is what we need to do. And out of the for loop, what I want to do, or we can even do it inside also, because we are just adding the records to our collection. Okay, so how we are going to add the records? Dot add method, right? One single record I'm adding at a time. So we are just collecting our cases whose status is new, and then we are updating their values with case priority as high, and then we are adding back to our collection. So we are updating status and putting back to our collection again, right? So this is what we need to do in our update operation, right? So how do we need to do insert operation? So next one is insert. So I will have to come out of this if loop. So this is not needed. So this is a complete new operation kind of thing. Insert new case record, let's say. So how we are going to create a new case record? Case C1 I'm using. CS we should have already CR we used. Okay. C1 is equals to new case, and then we will have to pass the basic fields, the required fields for the case. So C1 dot, let's say, status, C1 dot priority high, and C1 dot origin is equals to web. That means this case came from web, and so many other fields, maybe the description. Okay, so we are not sure of other mandatory fields. Let's see. If any error comes in, we will be fixing it. Okay, so we have added this, created a new case, but we will have to add this case to our list, right? So here what we are doing is, so I want to add this to this new case as well as the cases which came out of update operation, all of them in one single collection, so that I will perform upsert operation on that particular collection. Okay, so for that, I'm taking a new collection type, list case. So since we are dealing with cases, and you can give it as something like case to upsert. So this is our new. So this is where we are going to perform our actual So I just created a list. Okay. So list case. So we are going to perform our upsert operation on this particular list, case to upsert. Okay. On this particular list. So first I need to add what all the records I have in my update operation. All those records I need to add it, right? So for this, I am adding my records one by one. All the records I am adding, whichever has been updated. Okay, so that's one thing. And the other thing I have to do is I have to add, I have created a new case, and this particular new case also I will have to add it to my list, because I am going to perform the upsert operation one single time on the complete list. Okay, so I have created a new case and I have given the values. So now what should I do? I should be adding that particular uh, new case to my list, right? So how do I need to do that? Same. Case to observe dot add of my C1. So that means in our case to upsert list, we have few records which needs to be updated, and we have updated those values. With the updated values, we have added them to our upsert uh, list, right? And this is there is one new record which we have created with all the values which we want to update, and that new record also we have added. So first we have records which needs to be updated, then we have a new record which needs to be created. So all those are present in our case to upsert list, right? So now this is it for upsert. And next one is, what should I do? I would be doing the, I have to perform the actual operation, right? So upsert operation. Let's go ahead and do that, perform upsert operation. Okay, so let's say, how do we need to do upsert followed by our collection, right? This is it. Yeah. Okay. And what else we need to do? So what do I need to do? I just want to see the number of DML statements I am fetching, like I'm using in my transaction. So yes, we can see those in the debug log file, but I wanted to show it as part of the programming. So for that, I have a class called system.debug, and so number of DML statements used. Yeah, do you remember the class we already discussed? Which class returns the we have a class called limits class system.limits dot. So we have get DML statements is the method. Okay. So this will give the number of DML statements which we are using in our transaction. And I also want to give number of DML statements, number of rows we are updating, right? Number of records we are working on. So system.debug. Number of DML number of rows updated with the DML statement. Okay, so that means number of records which we are dealing. So for this also we have system.limits class, and in that get DML rows. So this will give the number of rows which we are working. So in our case, how many rows? So actually we are picking up the cases which are status new. So there are 5 cases and this one new case which we have added. So that's 6, right? So the DML rows affected should be 6. The DML statements should be 1 only, right? Upsert operation, right? So yeah, let's see. Missing the so what is missing list. So closing braces, opening, yeah, we are good. Okay, so this is the one we are missing. Okay, so do you see any public class? Okay, so it says missing LS L cases, right? Yep.
It's showing at line 26, right? The problem. You have to give semicolon at the ending of the line 26.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so I was looking whether this closing is already there or not. Right, you're correct. Okay, so it should be good now then. Error should disappear. Yeah. Control S. And then how we are going to call this particular I have small disturbances in my surroundings. That's where I was not looking. Right. So database helper dot update upsert case records. Okay. So hope we are good. We saved it. And yeah, we can execute. Number of DML statements used 1. As I told you, number of rows updated 6. 5 of them having new case status, and 1 of them is the case which we have created, right? So let's go ahead and verify. So this is the cases, and I haven't refreshed. So all these new cases are the 5 records. Their priority will be updated as high, and 1 more new case will be created. So here 8 records, so it should be 9. So 9 records, and the new cases, there are 5, right? 5 of them, all of them are updated as high, and the case which I have created, I haven't given any contact name description, right? So we gave the status as working and priority as high, and the case is created. Okay. So, right. So this is how you can create the case as well as update. This is how you can perform the upsert operation on the cases. So that means we will have to perform, we will have to, the main point here which we need to remember is we have to collect all the records which we need to update and all the records which we need to insert together in one single list collection, any type of collection based on the requirement. And then on the particular collection type, we are performing the upsert operation. So that is the major point which we will have to be keeping in mind. So I'm placing it in the notes. Right. So the next operation, so this is all about the upsert operation. Do you have any doubt here? So I think we are good. We are good, right? So in our method upsert case records, first thing, we are collecting all the records which we need to update in one list. Okay. And then we are updating them. Okay. Second one is we are creating a new record, and that also we are adding. So we are creating for both of them to be stored. We are creating another list collection of type case. And in that case, In that list collection, we are adding this updated records. And then in that list collection only, we are adding our newly created case record also. Okay. And simply we are performing the upsert operation on our case, on our list, the list which we have prepared. Okay. So we are performing the upsert operation. That's it. Simple. So just remember, if you need to perform a upsert operation, remember to create a collection type and then place all those records which you need to update with all the updated values in that list. And then the list of records that needs to be created, all those records also you place in that list, and this particular collection, you are going to perform the upsert operation using upsert keyword, upsert and then the collection type. So this is how we can do upsert operation on our by using DML statements. So the next one which we have is the merge statement. Okay, so merge statement is used this is used for merging the records into one single record. Okay, so again, this merge operation can be performed on maximum of 3 records at a time. That means we can merge 3 records into one single record at a time, maximum. Okay, so merge followed by the source record name, the destination record name. Yes, it is going to merge those 2 records, and it is going to delete the source record after the merge operation. So that's the one scenario. So we can merge.
Philip,
Yeah.
can you repeat this those sentence again?
Right. So we have 2 records, let's say. Okay. So one is source, one is target. Okay. So we are going to merge those 2 records. So once we merge, the source record is going to be get deleted, and we have the target record, which is a merged record in our system.
And
Okay,
we can do only 3 in merge, right? 3
three
target.
merge records. See, I mean, we can perform merge operation only on maximum of 3 records at a time. Okay, so
Okay.
and upon merging this, if we are merging the parent records, the child records gets associated with the new parent. Okay, so that is there. The transferred new target parent, it is going to get associated. Yeah, we'll see that. And this merge operation by default in Salesforce, only 3 standard objects are supporting this merge operation. That is account object, contact object, and lead object. So you say I have two accounts which are duplicates. So I need to perform in a merge operation. You can do it. But I have 2 contacts or 2 lead objects, uh, records which I need to merge. Yes, account, contact, and lead. So only merge operation is supported only on account, contact, and lead. It won't support other objects in the Salesforce for this merge operation. Okay. So yes. Okay, so we can merge 1 or more records, maximum of 3 at a time, into one single record, and it supports only account, contact, and lead object. Okay, so the syntax looks like this: keyword merge, the DML statement merge, followed by the target record and the source record. So if we pass those records to record ID reference, then those records gets merged. Okay, and this we can perform the merge operation by using the UI as well as through Apex programming also. However, this is supported by only these three: account, contact, and lead object. Okay, and the syntax is the same. Okay, so this is the navigation for performing the merge operation using UI. So let me show you that particular navigation. Okay, so we just need to go to the accounts and okay, so let me show you that one. Just give me a minute. So this merge operation will not be working on the Lightning experience, and yeah, I will show you how this merge operation works in the next class. Okay, so how it works, I'll show you in the next class.
If it has like limit for 3 records, do we really use this in a real-time scenario?
Yes. See, if your organization has some only 1,000 records, probably dealing with single records is easy for you. But if your organization has lakhs and lakhs of records, then there can be issue. But still, there are cases where we do this merge operation, because there sometimes in the real time how it happens is, so in my current project, let's say I have a user, the records getting created on the Salesforce system, and I have the records getting created from an external system. Okay, I'm not naming it, an external system which is integrated to my Salesforce system. So there are people who will be creating records from an external system, and I will also be asked to create new records from the Salesforce system. So unfortunately, in an email, it says it asked me to create a record, and I created, and during the same time, in the external system, some sales representative has created another record of which is a duplicate. Okay, so that's where it is going to create a duplicate record, but it was both of them got created on the same day. So we were not sure what is the exact information that needs to be captured, which record needs to be put it and which record we will have to remove. So in that case, we will be doing the merge operation. Again, we will be contacting our data warehouse team also, who is holding the complete backend infrastructure of the database.com for our system. So yes, so there can be some cases, but again, it's a rare scenario only, I would say.
Okay.
So how we are going to perform the merge operation? It's just this way. So this is a sample assignment. Okay, so let's say target account name is Dickinson PLC and source account is Kishore. See, in the merge on the UI side, we can merge the records only if both of them are similar. But in the merge operation through programming, we can merge two different records also. We can merge. So these two are two different records. From the UI, we can also select which record, suppose 3 records are there which says the name Ram Kumar. Okay, so we can merge all those 3 records together, and there is an option for us to select which record values to be used. So we will be displayed with the values which are same on all the 3 records and which value to be used. Different on all 3 records and which values to be used. So we will be given an option. But in the programming, we don't have that accessibility. The system is going to do it. So it's going to merge the source record into the target record, and the source records is getting deleted after the merge operation. And when I say deleted, it's going to stay in the recycle bin for another 15 days. Yeah, we can, however, go ahead and have a look at that particular record details as well once the merge operation is performed. So let's say account 1 is equals to this, and account ACC2 is the Kishore Kumar account, let's say. If the account ID, both of them are null, then we are going to perform the merge operation. So on the account 1, I'm going to get stored with the account 2 details also, and then account 2 details gets deleted later, right? Okay, so that is all about the DML statements. Yeah, merge we will be discussing again. So we have something called database class methods similar to our DML statements, but since we have some of the drawbacks which are mentioned here in the DML statements, we are going ahead and making use of database class methods. Yes. So what are those drawbacks? So DML statements are atomic statements. That means, suppose I'm inserting, let's say, 100 records, okay, and my record number 45 has some issues, okay, and it didn't get inserted properly. So in that case, it is going to complete, the complete transaction, it is going to cancel. Okay, so DML statements can either perform the complete transaction or cancel the complete transaction. It cannot perform the partial transaction. Okay, so that's one drawback. So the second one is DML won't support partial processing. Okay. That means either it should be failed or completed, but not a combination of both. Okay. So, and it also do not support proper tracking mechanism. So when I say again, tracking mechanism, that if we insert 10 records, so if we need to, check some values of some records in between, we are not going to do, we cannot do that using the DML statements. But yes, with database class methods, we can do that. Okay. So these three drawbacks, to overcome these three drawbacks, we have the database methods similar to our DML statements, all the 6 DML statements: insert, update, delete, upsert, undelete, merge. Okay. Empty, recycle, bin. This is the another one extra. Okay. So all these are static methods in the database class. So we are using database dot class name dot method name, and the drawbacks which we have in the DML statements, those can be avoided. So some we come across some specific scenarios, like I'm inserting, let's say, 1,000 records at a time, and I don't want to uh, you know cancel the transaction just because if 1 or 2 records has some errors. So in that case, we are going to go ahead with the database class methods. Okay. So database, right. So database dot insert. So similarly, we have all the methods. So by using this method, we can insert 1 or more records inside the object. And while inserting the records, we can enable the partial processing mechanism. Okay. And we can track the result also. So database dot save result, database dot insert, collection name, and the Boolean. Okay. So this database dot save result, what is it? It's another class of type database where we are going to track the details of our uh, records which we are processing on our transaction. Okay. So if you remember, in our data loader, so we are given 2 different files, right? Success file, error file. So it's giving us clear information of the records which got success and the records which got error. So similar mechanism is not available on the DML statements, normal DML statements. So, but we can have that, we can create that kind of mechanism using our database methods. So yeah, this class is database.saveResult class is going to store the values related to records which we are processing. Okay, so if it has some issues, then it is going to be stored in this particular class and we can track it. Okay, so whereas in our DML statements, we cannot track those issues which occurred in while performing the transactions. So here, true, yeah, database.insert. So usually we can directly perform the collection name, but if we want our partial processing mechanism to be in place, then we will have to pass this value as false. Okay, true, it maintains the transaction. If any of the record fails, then it will cancel the whole transaction. This is just normal behavior of our DML statements. So if we put the Boolean as false, then it is going to do the partial processing mechanism. If 1 or 2 records has issues, it's going to ignore those records and proceed with the remaining records. So we need to mention here false if we need to track it. And if we do not want our transaction to be wasted. So database.saveResult class, this is used to store results upon performing the transaction. So to store, usually it stores one single record, but to store multiple records, we are creating an instance of this class, array class, and then we can store it. List of database.saveResult or database.saveResult of array, and then we are storing the results in that. So in this database.saveResult class, we have three different methods: Boolean is success, get IDs, get error. Yeah. So once we store the results in our array, so we can also perform some operations making use of this IDs. Like if it is success method we can call, or if it is failure, we can check whether it is success or failure with the methods, and also we can get the record ID also for that particular record. So this is one other database.error class. So one other important class provided by Apex, which will give us the error messages. Okay. So get message, get status code, get fields. Let me show you. Yeah, I wanted to show a small example of error. So get accounts by industry, let's say. And here, okay, where is our insert operation? Insert bulk records. Okay. So let's do this particular and create an exception because I just want to show you how that error class methods looks like. Okay. So So if you're not using our, let's say, our list, so in that case, what we are doing, we will be performing insert operation on each and every record, right? So let us cause some exception and the error should be erased. So that is what I want to show. Insert HR. Okay. Right, integer counter less than or equals 200, and then hiring manager records I'm creating hr.name bulk record plus counter, yeah, all the records, and one by one I'm inserting, and I'm using 200 records, right? So let's see whether this will cause exception. So it's going to cause an exception, right? So this is how an error will be displayed with all the error details in it. So the error class which we are talking about, get message, it returns the error message raised by Apex runtime, and get status code and get fields. So if you see here, so since this is a different type of message, we have the status code 151 and also the error message system.limit exception. And we will also be displayed with the field names in case if it is an error message of different type. So that's what I wanted to tell you. So see, message, it will be displayed, and the status code, okay, it should be 101, 151, something like that. And also the fields. So for this error, it's not fields related, it is an exception completely. So we don't have this, but all these three messages, three things will be displayed if we raise any type of issues on our program. So this is how the database dot error class gives us details about each and every error on our transactions which we perform, the database class methods which we are using. Okay, so yes, this is all for the DML operations, and yes, we are done with complete DML operations on database class methods as well, DML operations on the database class methods, and most of them we have given examples of how we are performing those transactions and the syntaxes also. So yes, with this we will be completing our DML statements concepts. Okay. Yeah, that is it for now. Let us meet again after an hour. Thank you. Bye.